Hey guys, welcome back to another review. I'm still sick. I'm getting a little better, but today's my only day off and I haven't recorded in a while, so I have another video in the works. It's just going to take a lot more editing and I'm just so tired. Figured I would bust one of these out since I'm kind of behind. The first match is Starlight Kid versus Natsu Sumire versus Ruka. This show was on the 3rd, I believe. Yes, January 3rd. This show, I gotta be honest, it wasn't anything too spectacular until later on. Early on, it was just kind of okay. For this match, I kind of had to create a new guiding system. Before I had like uh, down a thumb down for bad, thumb up for good, then like a star for great, then fire for amazing or whatever. But I put an indifference face next to this one. This match just didn't really do anything for me. I only wrote two things for it, not even three. The third line is literally just saying what the ending was. The two things I wrote was Sumire is looking really hot in this show, and there was a part where Ruka was grabbing Starlight Kid from the turnbuckle, and I can't really figure out what she was planning on doing. It kind of looked like she was gonna try to do some kind of like fisherman suplex from already holding her up in the air. It just didn't seem right. Maybe if she could pull it off in the future, it'll make much more sense. But yeah, this match really wasn't that great. It ended with Starlight Kid pinning Ruka in 5 minutes and 23 seconds with a moonsault. Now, a lot of these matches, I'm not going to have too much to say about it, just because when I did write or watch these, I was a lot more sick than I am now. I wasn't really feeling it, so I might be judging these matches a little too harshly, just based on the fact that I hated being awake at the time. For the second match, we have Leo Onozaki. For the second match, we have Leo Onozaki and Hina versus Saya Kamitani and Itsuki Hoshino versus Layla Hirsch and Rina. First thing I noticed in the pre-match promos is that I have a feeling, there's no proof of this, but I don't know, it just kind of seemed like they had Rina standing on a box next to Layla. If you look at the pre-match promo, she seems way taller than she actually is than Layla, and then also the fact that Rina wasn't moving around too much during it made me think that maybe she was standing on something to make her seem taller than she was. I don't know if they were trying to go for a gag or something like that, but it was interesting anyway. Leo's theme is absolutely killer. I love it. It's probably one of the best things about her right now. Her entrance theme is just so good. Through this match, you can really see Layla's like how good she is. She's very fluid and quick, and you could tell that she's very skilled in what she's doing. She's not like a lot of these foreigners that they used to bring in. It's actually kind of the complete opposite now. They actually bring in very talented foreigners now, but they don't do very good, which is just insane in my opinion. But I think she's really great. I would love to see her coming back to Stardom in the future more often. If that's a thing that could happen, that would be great. I think she's really awesome. She's definitely proved herself to me. She's definitely proved that she is worthy of all of the hype that she had. Another thing I would like to point out in this match, Leo's bumping and selling is just insanely weird. She just drops like a rock. Like it's just one solid thing. Like it's the complete opposite of like someone like Starlight Kid. It's so insane. The match ends with Saya Kamitani pinning Leo Onozaki in 4 minutes and 17 seconds with the running shooting star press. Now for this match, I gave it an indifference face as well. I'm not sure why. Rewatching it today with my dad, it was a really good match. I liked it. I It's somewhere in between an indifference face and a thumbs up. Just because I would have given it a thumbs up today, but when I first watched it, I gave it indifference. So who knows? Match 3, moving on to match 3, which is Julia and Miyagi versus Natsuko Tora and Zoe Sky. Looks like Zoe is officially a part of Odo Tai. Julia and Miyagi are absolutely killing it with the pre-match promos. They're just so hilarious, and their chemistry is really, really good in my opinion. And I'm really glad that Miyagi is back regularly and in the ring and doing stuff and interacting with people. I've really missed her throughout this whole thing because she's really, really good. I really like her. You guys know I'm a big fan. I am a little worried that things might be leading to her leaving Stardom, just because of all of the crap that's happened. Her deleting her Twitter, then getting kicked out of Odo Tai, then that really not going anywhere, and then joining up with Julia. But then there's this whole thing about Julia supposedly telling her that she doesn't need her or something, and she's going to go get a new partner and saying goodbye to Miyagi. That's going to be happening later in a later show. I just really hope this doesn't mean Miyagi's leaving Stardom. That's all. I'm really glad that Zoe's back. She's always awesome. She was awesome back in her first run. She was awesome when she was going after the high-speed belt in New York, and she's awesome now. It's really good to see her back. There was a really awesome kind of like spinning back suplex by Julia on Zoe in this match that you guys know I really love back suplexes and side slams and whatnot. There's something about that kind of maneuver that I just really love. And Julia pulled one off, so obviously it's double the love because I'm obsessed with Julia. I really hope that Zoe is someone that Bushiroad and Stardom is looking forward to, like, having be a part of Stardom long term. I just have a feeling if you look at like New Japan, a lot of their roster is foreigners who are just there all the time. And I'm hoping that if Stardom is going to kind of turn into that it's going to be the people that I really want to see, like Zoe Sky. I wouldn't even mind them choosing Layla. That would be awesome. She's, at least for now, really great. It's clear that B and Jamie are going to be there a lot, but if they could be bringing in Zoe more often, that would be pretty great. Match ends with Julia pinning Zoe in 6 minutes and 34 seconds with the glorious Buster. Now, I gave this match a thumbs up, which means I thought it was good. It's worth a recommendation of watching. So far, according to my initial ratings in these, this is the first match worth watching, according to me. Which, it's clear that I've been sick. I mean, that's just so harsh. Moving on to the fourth match, we have Jungle Kyona and Konami and Death Yamasan versus B. Priestley, Jamie Hayter, and Martina. Now, I really love how B and Martina got into an argument in the pre-match promos. I thought it was really hilarious, and it really fits in with the theme that B and Jamie are really the only ones that like each other out of those two groups, and B doesn't like the rest of Odo Tai, and Jamie doesn't like the rest of Queen's Quest, and vice versa. And it's just really nice to see some continuity with the story and some continuation of it. During TCS's pre-match promo, they did this hilarious thing where Jungle and Konami were talking very seriously about the match, and then right in the middle of it, Death came in and did her whole death, Yama death thing, and then just like peaced out. And Jungle and Konami didn't even react to it. They just like stopped talking and looked at her while she did it. And then when she left, they just continued on with what they were saying. It was hilarious. It kind of makes it seem like it adds scenarios in your head on what could be going by backstage in kayfabe. It's just like Hana, Jungle, and Konami maybe hanging out, talking or whatever, and then Death would just come in and bleh, and then just like walk away, and then they'll just completely ignore it because it's so normal now. Things like that just make me, laugh. Konami has turned into a huge weirdo since joining TCS and winning the belts. I don't know if her new gimmick is supposed to be like overly perverted, like sexual, but not in like a way that Samira is, in like a sophisticated creepy way, I guess, instead of just a straight creepy way like Samira is. I don't really know how else to describe it. It's just really awesome, though. I find it gives her a lot of good character. Konami and B really put on a great performance against each other in this one. They had really good chemistry. They did a really good back and forth moment there. This was a really good match. I gave it a thumbs up. Definitely recommended. It ended with Death Yamasan pinning Martina in 8 minutes and 50 seconds with the O'Connor roll. Moving on to match 5, we have Arisa Hoshiki, Tam Nakano, Saya Ida versus Momo Watanabe, Azumi, and Utami Hayashishita. This one is actually the first one of the match that I'm giving a star. It was an amazing match. It's also the one that I have the most notes for. First thing I noticed during the whole thing was that Momo's getting a lot more shout-outs lately, whether it be during her ribbon placement or like before the match when they're in their corners and stuff. You're hearing a lot more people, at least in these last couple matches, yelling out Momo. I don't know if that just has to be because there's a lot more foreigners in the fans right now, and that maybe Momo's a lot more popular amongst foreigner fans, but it's as a Momo fan myself, I'm really happy to see her getting a bunch of shoutouts. And she really loves it because she's always smiling lately. Utami seems to be an emotionless robot lately. She's completely unbothered by the fact that both Saya and Arisa are after her head. She just doesn't really seem to care about anything. It's clear that this is a character choice that they're doing. It's even brought up in the next show, which I will talk about during that review. Momo really loves being rough with the people under her. Anytime you see her doing any kind of sequence against someone who's under her, like whether it be a rookie or something, just see how much harder her kicks are and how big her smile is on her face. I think she just likes giving him a little hazing here or there. Azumi finally gets to do her spot where she's above someone for once, and you could tell that she really relishes in that as well, because she just gets this big smile on her face whenever she gets to do the "oh, your hits don't hurt," gag. One thing I would like to point out is that Azumi's bumps and sells are too crazy sometimes, and she needs to chill out. We want you to be wrestling 10 years from now, Azumi. You don't need to burn out right now, all right? Yeah, towards the end of the match, there was a sequence where Arisa and Tam were doing a bunch of like kicks and moves to Utami. And something I noticed was that the kicks seemed to be very stiff and hard, like much harder than usual. I'm not sure if they were just that much more on point or if they were actually slightly kicking her in the head. Either way, they looked really stiff and like, I don't want to say good, because if they're actually kicking her on accident during this sequence, then obviously that's not good, but they looked good, you know what I mean? Saya pulled out a wheelbarrow arm drag during this match, which is awesome to see because it's a new move. I think it really fits her, and Saya has just been killing it. I don't know what someone said to her, but lately she has been exploding upwards. She was plateauing for so long, but lately, just bam, straight up. It's really, really cool. There was a spot towards the end that was very weird in that Azumi hit Saya with a double foot stomp off the top rope. I'm not sure why, but for some reason they didn't put her in the right direction. They had her perpendicular, I guess, with the rope instead of parallel. I don't know how to describe it. Her head was pointed more towards the turnbuckle than sideways like she's supposed to. But Azumi was still able to pull it off. I was surprised that they even attempted it like that, because if she was too short, she could have straight up landed on Saya's face, but they pulled it off. Saya was definitely one of like the MVPs this match. She did amazing. Match ended with Utami tapping Saya Ida with the human torture rack in 11 minutes and 43 seconds. Utami versus Arisa is definitely heating up. Arisa seems to be quite bothered with Utami's straight up robot killerness that she has lately. Momo is looking especially cute in this match for those who care. Match 5, gave it a star. It was great. It was a great match. Moving on to match 6, we have Mayu Iwatani and Saki Kashima versus Kagetsu and Hana Kimura. Now, this match I actually gave a fire, first one of the year, but it's really not because of the match itself. If I was doing it purely on the match itself, I would give it a star. But with all of the stuff that happens afterwards and all the promos and stuff, which I link to the match, it got bumped up to a fire. So let's go through this list here and see what I thought about it while I was sick. I'm really looking forward to this match. They used the old Odo Tai theme, which was really great because old Hana came out as well. Hana in one of her Odo Tai outfits. So they were using the old theme, old Hana. Kagetsu was still Kagetsu. So it was really nice to see, and it's sweet that Hana cared enough to do all that because she didn't have to. She even probably preferred not to in some aspects, but she still did anyway. So, and I respect that. Mayu and Kagetsu are just crazy in the ring. They have such great chemistry, and everything they do is just amazing. Mayu rope broke the hydrangea. So, for those of you who don't know, Hana's signature submission move is called the hydrangea. It's a modified version of the octopus hold that she does, where she also hooks one of the legs. And up until this point, it's either gotten the win or been like interfered with, I believe. But this, I believe, is the first time it's been rope break. And Mayu wasn't even right next to it when she got it in. She actually had to wiggle quite a bit. So that definitely lowers the effectiveness rate for me. Mayu also pulled out a freaking tombstone pile driver on Hana. I don't know what it is, but Mayu seems hellbent on using all of Io's moves now that Io's gone. And that's just one more, And I know that, Io wasn't the only one to do tombstones and blah, 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 blah. I'm just saying that it's kind of clear that after Io left, Mayu picked up quite a bit of Io's moves. Biggest thing about this whole thing, though, like the match doesn't even really matter. Like the match was great, like I was saying. It's star worthy, but the big point here is that Saki turned on Mayu. During the end, I believe Sumire was going to... It's either Sumire or Hana. I can't remember. I'd have to rewatch it. But someone was about to hit Mayu with the board, the Odo board, as you might call it. And Saki came in and stopped them, grabbed the board away, acted like they were going to hit the person, and then turned and then hit Mayu. Obviously, this means that Saki turned on Mayu. Mayu once again got betrayed in a match. This is the third time for those who are counting. That ended with Hana pinning Mayu in 14 minutes and 25 seconds with the package pile driver. Saki's promo afterwards about why she left and her grievances with Mayu and Stars, it's really good. It's by far one of the best Saki promos we probably ever had. For those of you who think she doesn't have a personality like I did, you should definitely watch this one. It really puts a closure on the character that she was. She wasn't like all the other Stars members. She's a lot more rough around the edges. She's a lot more country, and she was just kind of trying to be a thing that she didn't like. She doesn't like all the glittery. She doesn't like all the stupidness. She doesn't like the mistaking, good evening in the afternoons and all of that junk. And it was a really, really good promo. So definitely watch this just for that alone. Then after all of that was gone, Saki joined Odo Tai. They all left. The only people in the ring are Hana and Kagetsu, and they kind of talk it out a bit. Hana makes it seem like the only reason why she did this at all was to get revenge, since this is a match they had 2 years ago where they lost the belts to Mayu and Saki, and she just wanted revenge, which she got. But then she got down and bowed, very respectfully to Kagetsu, and it was clear that it was touching Hana a lot because she's she did start crying. Not like too crazy, but it was clear that she's started crying, and that afterwards she was trying not to cry for the rest of the closing out show. It was very touching and emotional, and that's another reason why this got a fire instead of a star. All because of the aftermatch stuff, which a lot of you might think that it's not fair to attribute that to the match, but it all is connected to the match. It had all the people involved in the match in the aftermatch promo, and it's in the exact same video of the match because that's how Stardom uploads their videos. So whether you like it or not, I'm giving this match a fire, and that is the first of the year. It only took them 2 shows. So there you guys go. I'm super sick still. I'm really hoping that I'm good by tomorrow because I gotta go back to work. Let me know what you guys think, and bye.